Some people live in cages with bars built from their own fears and doubts. Some people live in cages with bars built from other people's fears and doubts. Their parents, their friends, their brothers and sisters, their families. While some people live in cages with bars built from the choices others made for them, the circumstances other people imposed upon them. And some people break free. Thank you for tuning in to Spiritual Java with Annie for part 2 of Breaking Cycles and Reclaiming Your Life. In this particular episode, I will not be providing video clips. This is one of those that you can listen to going down the road, washing dishes, or working out. Let's get after it. When we last left off, Isaac was close to death, and it was time for him to bestow the blessing upon Esau. But Rebekah overheard it and helped Jacob disguise himself as Esau, and she prepared the meal that was to be brought to Isaac. Because Isaac had poor eyesight, he was tricked into giving the blessing to Jacob. Esau was enraged, and Jacob had to run away to save his life. The problem is, when Jacob ran for his life, he ran into his uncle Laban, his mother's brother, who was also a trickster. Please note that this trait ran in the family. Jacob meets up with his uncle and agrees to work 7 years for his daughter Rachel. But instead of him giving him Rachel, he gets him drunk and gives him Leah. His only defense is, I can't give you my younger daughter. It is custom for the older daughter to marry first. So Jacob agrees to work 7 more years for Rachel. This is a generational cycle that needs to be broken. But it didn't stop there. God blessed Jacob and gave him lots of sheep. In fact, Jacob was so good at his job that he asked his father-in-law Laban if he could be paid in sheep. Laban agreed, but then kept changing the rules. First, Laban said Jacob could keep all the speckled sheep, but when there were lots of speckled sheep, Laban said he could only have the striped sheep. Over and over again, he kept changing the rules on Jacob. Long story short, eventually Jacob gained his freedom from Laban, but God still needed to deal with that spirit that was causing a bad cycle in the family. By this time, Jacob has to face his brother Esau by passing through the land of Edom in order to return to Canaan. This frightened him, but God was about to give him an experience that would change his very life. Let's read the Bible. Genesis, the 32nd chapter, beginning at verse 22 says, And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. Jacob, quite frankly, did not know who he was. Every time someone called him Jacob, they were saying, Hey, trickster. Hey, supplanter. Hey, deceiver. But that is not what God created or called him to be. He was a prince that had power with God and man. He just didn't know it. Let me ask you a very crucial question. Who are you? What are you answering to that God did not intend for you to answer to? Are you a liar, a deceiver, a promiscuous person, a person that faked your way through life? What cycles are you perpetuating in your life that was passed down through the generations? What is it that you need broken? What is it that keeps you going in the same direction? What is it that you notice about yourself that you absolutely hate, yet you continue to emulate it? There is help for you and hope for you in God, because God desires to break every cycle in your life. He is willing not only to change your name, but your very life. Here is what you need to do. You need to get God involved in your life by recognizing the problem and confessing your vicious cycles to Him. After all, He came that you might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. You need an Israel experience. An experience with God that leaves you emptying out your soul so that He can break every cycle and put you on your road to success. Jacob, the man who deceived his brother out of his birthright, will now forever be remembered both in heaven and in earth for all eternity, because he allowed God to break the cycle and change his name to Israel, meaning power with God and man. With that being said, on your mark, it is time to recognize the enemy of your soul, the cycles that you continue to perpetuate that have stopped you from reaching your full potential. Get set. God is going to give you an experience. It will be like a wrestling match because your flesh will want to win. But if you allow God to make you over again, get ready, because it is your time for promotion. God is going to give you power with Him and man. Your brand new start is just beyond the horizon. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to Spiritual Java with Annie, and don't forget to subscribe. God bless.